Shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash, the bonders of the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and in sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So, this lesson I wanted to give you this evening is basically about us not being at our full stature, our full potential, the men who we are meant to be. You know, we're not meant to be in this condition that we're in right now. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about the condition of our flesh, the aches and pains that we get, just dealing with this life in general. So, I'm gonna get the scripture and then, I'll expand upon it. But we're not where we're supposed to be or where we've even been until the kingdom comes. And the kingdom comes, that's when we'll get back to the men that we ought to be. So, without further ado, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 51. It says, he answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore art thou unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee, they that... Matter of fact, let me back it up. Because Ezra's had a good question, So, I'm going to start at 40... Let me see. I'm going to start at verse 40. Then he said unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end, the love that I have promised unto my people. Because he was asking them, can you do this with the wind, or can you bring back a flower that's wilted, and this, that, and the third? Because Ezra was concerned about his people. But the Most High is like, dog, you don't love my people more than I do. Okay? So verse 41, it says, and I said, behold, O Lord, thou art nigh unto them that be reserved unto the end. And what shall they do that have been before me? Or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So basically, it's a ongoing circle, the circle of life, so to speak. Anything that was in the past is going to be coming again. That's how we come back. We've been here before, we're going to come again. And it's going to be the same speed, okay? It says, so I answered and said, could thou was not make all those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come at once, that thou might show thy judgment sooner? So he's saying, well, if people were born back then, people are born now, and people are going to be born later, can you just put them all on earth at the same time and judge everybody at the same time and get it over with, kind of deal? And then, we can have a kingdom. Verse 44, then answered he me and said, The creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. You're like, man, that's too many people. The world can't hold all the spirits. Okay? He says, verse 45, and said I, as thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which givest life to all, hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the creature bear it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why doest thou not it together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. So it's like, okay, well, you got a woman that didn't have 10 kids. Well, why didn't she have all 10 kids at the same time? Is basically what the Most High is saying. And I said, she cannot, but must do it in distance of time. Well, no, you can't have 10 kids at once. You got to have a kid this year, then next year you have another, then next year in 9 months, and so on and so forth. Then said he unto me, even so I have given the womb of the earth to those that have been sown in it in their times. So everybody's going to come in their proper times, in order, in decent and in order. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the age, even so have I disposed the world which I created. And I asked and I asked and said, seeing thou hast given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother of the womb thou hast told me that she is young, draweth nigh unto age. And she answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but of less stature? And she answered thee, and she shall answer thee, and she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. Okay, so even Esdras back then is less stature than the ones who preceded him. Because when you go back into Genesis, you see, Adam lived 900 some odd years, and then so on and so forth. And then the age broke down all the way to 80 years. And if you live past 80 years in this time, you on borrowed time. You got a blessing, basically. Because these bodies are meant to live for 1,000 years, but they're not holding up. And we're going to go back here in a second and get that. But we're not, like I said before, we're even less than Ezra's. We're at the pinnacle of being the least. Okay, we got chemtrails. The food is terrible. The earth is rejecting, everything pretty much. It's not giving forth its strength. Back in the day, it took 2 strong men to hold a cluster of grapes. Now, a baby can pick it up. Because the earth is not giving forth its full strength. It's been polluted and diluted so much. And us, if you 6 foot, you in the top 15% of height in the world at 6 foot. But Goliath was damn near a giant. He'd be considered a giant in these days. Why? Because we're not at our full strength. We're not at our full stature. But when the kingdom comes, that's when you're going to get it back, man. That's when you're going to get your height back. That's when you're going to get your strength back. That's when you're going to get all the things that you're missing in this life. Which is why it's important to keep your head on straight. because we're not in our strength right now. But in order to be put back proper, this place has to go down, of course, and everything that it stands for has to be turned upside down. I'm gonna finish this out, and then I'm gonna go get this last little scripture real quick. It says, I'll start back at 54. It says, "Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you, and so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed away over the strength of youth." So basically, you know, they were a lot uh, stronger in stature than us back in the day. So this is Second Esdras chapter 3, verse 21. It says, "For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still." So, back when Adam and Eve, to be blunt, fucked up, when they went off, that's when, like it says, infirmity became permanent. That's when we lost that right to be translated, basically, to live 1,000 years and just be translated as like men in the scriptures were. But that's how it is going to be in the kingdom. We're not going to feel that sting of death. We're not going to have to go through the things that we're going through in this life. We're just going to live our life, enjoy our life, have plenty of children, wives, riches, judge the world. We're going to have responsibilities as well. It's not going to just be a big party all the time. We definitely have responsibilities in governing the world, but we're going to be, that's the point, we're going to be on top. We're not going to be on the bottom anymore. But that's really all I wanted to get, just wanted to shed light on the fact that a lot of people might think that they're big and bad now, but man, we ain't shit. The level of human that we're at right now is nothing compared to the level of human that we were before in the past and the level that we shall be in the future. And with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakar Kadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.